Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted because I've been trying to think about, how I can post more regularly in a way that gives you guys a consistent experience here on my channel. I've experimented with a lot of different types of episodes on this channel. Yeah, I think what I'm going to be doing is moving more towards visually showing a lot of Transformers work, which has been gaining a lot of popularity over on Instagram, and kind of talking a lot about art in the sense of art careers, and just trying to give you guys out there something to think about in terms of how to start your career, how to push your career forward, what it means to be a professional, and personally also, what it's like to work in the comic book industry and what it's like to be a freelancer, what it's like to create, what it's like to be an entrepreneur as an artist, freelancer, designer. So on a weekly basis, I'd like to upload my latest Transformers art or other art from the week. In some cases, it might be design work that I've done in the past, but maybe I'll be keeping track of views and likes and feedback, just to make sure that that you guys, the audience, are happy with the content that I'm putting out. So each episode will be about 10 minutes long, and yeah, I'd like to upload once a week. So I think, with some of the extra time that we have from today's show, I do want to talk about, well, I could talk about a lot of things actually. But in general, I work at a comic book company, and, we also do fun projects on the side like trading cards and posters and, things that have a lot to do with visuals and design and typography. And when I'm approached at a show, it's very important for me to get the impression from an artist that, number one, either they're at the top of their game in one particular area of expertise, so whether it be comic art, graphic design, or just a more general design aesthetic. I need to see that you're at the top of your game in one category, or likely if you're younger, I need to see that you have built up some experience in several different categories. What I mean by that is that, what most people can show when they come up to, a Comic-Con booth or a job fair as an artist is that they can show that they've done a little bit of fan art, and they've done a little bit of maybe creating their own original story, some of their own original characters. And usually there's an assortment of headshots and maybe body shots and full body poses, and maybe some compositions with characters with full color backgrounds and things like that. And so that's more typical. But what's less typical, I feel, is for somebody to come up at a Comic-Con and have a decent amount of graphic design work, or a decent amount of other types of design work, like with trading card design or packaging design or marketing materials specifically designed for the comic book industry, or book design as well. That's just another category of showing that you have graphic design skills and experience, designing what a comic book cover with the price tag and UPC code and title logo and things like that, all that information, or the inside front cover, like you've done a credits page and an inside front cover before. So I would say that, it's just good to at least get a couple of those under your belt, and, definitely make sure that they look professional and they look like you referenced, that you did your homework looking at several different comic books and things like that. I just think, especially if you are in an area where there are a lot of startups, and you're looking to kind of learn more than just doing one type of job within a larger company, like say a Marvel or something like that, then you're going to need just to be a jack of all trades. If you're already a master of one trade, then by all means go for it. But more than likely you'll be young and hungry and new, and you just need to show that you can fall into several different buckets, and you can be somebody that can be very versatile in a smaller company. That's one of the things that I got a little bit lucky with, is that, though I did start at my current company, AWA Studios, as a storyboard artist, as our needs grew in terms of, employees that had skills in graphic design and typography and presentation design and trading card design, etc. I was able to fill each role, each need as those needs came up. Comic book title logo design, things like that. So it's just good to have all those skills, at least to a certain level, to where you can start to have people back you up and say that looks good. Within a small company, that's all you need, is a couple of people to say that looks good, and then you're on the job. You are going to, it's going to be your responsibility to do these things. When you're outside trying to get into a company, then it's much harder, because you have to prove to the gatekeeper, in some cases it'll be me. You have to prove that you have that level of ability to produce what we need. Because if I'm looking, I need to see that from a pool of applicants that you're better than the other applicants. So yeah, like I said, there's several different categories. Think of it this way too. Put yourself in the shoes of the hiring company. The hiring company is likely already making lots of products, right? They likely already have their own characters, their own stories, and their own artists who are, top of their game artists. So what we likely need are people who are going to help us sell the products that we're already making. And the way to do that is to have a really strong graphic design portfolio. So it does help that you're an artist and that you have penmanship and either coloring, inking, or comic making skills. That will also come into play in a company, especially a startup company, because you may need to handle the artwork of these masters that we've already hired, and you may need to convert their images into, for example, digital comic format or a special print format, or convert their artwork into trading cards, convert their artwork into posters, etc. So having that artistic sense of composition and panel placement and all the things that you're learning in making comics are still going to be useful, except that you're not doing the art. You're helping to do something for the master artist that he or she is unable to do, because they're drawing all day. Companies need people to take other people's art and do something with it, to make it, to either resell the artwork, reuse the artwork, just to capitalize on that investment. So I hope that bit of impromptu information and unorganized rambling is helpful at first. I'm going to be diving into other topics as well as we move forward with this episodic series. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Give a like and a subscribe if you're interested in more episodes like this, and I'll see you in the next episode.